But before we move off of that and into like the movies and stuff, I did want to talk about friendship once more. I reconnected with one of the friends that I lost and that I spoke about on. Remember that episode I did?
Mm-hmm.
I reconnected with actually two of them.
Whoop, whoop.
I know it was three that I lost, and I reconnected with, well, in an essence, with two of them, and it was so weird. Like, um,
You had a
one
dope.
of them, the oldest one, the one that I knew the longest, um, my homeboy. Well, he was my homeboy or whatever, but like his best friend had hit me like, "Hey, have you talked to?" Or he left a message like, "Hey, it's me, it's such and such and such's friend, and I'm trying to get in touch with him, and I was wondering if you could, access him." And I'm like, "Shit, I ain't talked to that nigga in 3 years." But I have did the same thing. Like anytime I have to reach out to him or find him, like I just know the route to go. So I went to his page, seeing who he was dating last, and then hit them up like, "Hey, this is the situation. This is who I am, and if you can reach him, just let him know that such and such is looking for him." So usually I'd say that I'm looking for him. This time I said that somebody, reached out to me looking for him, because it wasn't. It was a situation where it's like, I've come to terms with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not checking for you, but there is somebody who is looking for you, and I don't know why they're looking for you, but just to let you know, this person's looking for you. So the boyfriend hit me back and was like, "Oh, okay, well, he's at work. Here's his number." He said, da, da, da. So I'm like, "You sure he said to give it to me?" Because if I hit him up and like the reaction is weird, you know what I mean? Like, so I hit him up and I told him, such and such has been looking for you or whatever. And then from there we started talking. And the thing is, like, we fell back into the comfort of conversation, laughing, joking, how we used to be. But it
Mhm.
was like, it was like as we played catch up, there was, we both kind of was trying to skip over the parts of, like, we didn't talk about the friendship and how we went many years without talking to each other and why we went many years without talking. So we didn't even talk about that. And I told, like, he asked me about the podcast, because I said something. I was like, "Yeah, I just mentioned this on my podcast about a subject or whatever." He's like, "Oh, you got a podcast?" So I gave him the title. So I don't know if he's listened, but I feel like if he did listen and he heard, that episode, or if he does listen and he hears that episode, then that's enough for me. Like, I don't need to talk about it with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to discuss it, because it happened. It happened more than once. So it's like, if I do decide that this is like a serious, I want to have a whole ass friendship with you again, I know that I can't fully commit myself into this friendship, because at the end of the day, you might just up and decide that you don't want to talk again for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And that was hard for me. So I'm like, I don't really want it. I don't really need to discuss the whys of what, you know what I'm saying? Because I already know how I'm going to protect my feelings in the friendship moving forward, because I've learned so much. Like, it was mind blowing. Like, Amari, seriously, it was like, even like the closest we got to talking about it was, I was talking about you, and I was talking about Rob, and I was like, um talking about how hard it was for me to even, like, come out and be like, "Yeah, no, that's my friend," because of my feelings toward a friendship. And I'm like, I learned so much over the last 3 years that I don't even deal with my friends the same way that I used to, because now it's like I keep my circle smaller and I love on my friends more. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the closest we got. And we were on FaceTime. So when I said that, you could see, in his face a little bit. And it was just like I don't know if it was like I don't want to talk about this, or, you know what I mean? Like, I hope that we don't have to talk about us type thing. But either way, it was like, it felt good for me to, like, low key let him know, like, it was like, I went through some shit. I went through some hard shit. And that's not to say that, he wasn't going through his own shit, but I felt like if we were best friends, like we said, you know what I'm saying, then you wouldn't have ran off with your shit, because that's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going through something that heavy, that's why I keep a low count friendship, so that I have the space for my friends. You know what I'm saying? So I have the space to go through certain things that with my friends that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, you know, we since then we, he'll send me a message in the morning, hey boo, have a good day, da, da, da. I'll send him one back or whatever, or maybe we'll FaceTime for a little bit or whatever. But it was it's like, you know, just it feels good to know that he's good and he's doing well. Like I'm genuinely happy to see him winning. You know what I'm saying? Like we spoke, and then the next day, like he FaceTimed me, like, yeah, girl, I just went and got a new car. And like I know where he came from and the struggles that he had faced. So it's like to see him in a place where he can just, oh yeah, we live in this house and this is he's going through his house and showing me his furniture and stuff. And I'm like, bro, I remember being at your house sitting on the floor with you, smoking because you ain't had no couch. So it's like I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? So like that was one friend, and then the other friend, my sister kind of just set that up and invited her over, and it was very good to see her. But again, there was no elephants addressed, and I think that is what would end up not holding me back, but it's just like it's keeping me tied to reality.
Mm.
So when I want to, go in and have these conversations, or, dang, I want to, like when she came through, like, my sister invited her over because we were talking about her and I teared up because that's what I do because I be loving people. I just can't tell them that. So I teared up and my sister was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm about to invite her over. So she invited her over to see the house, right? Like she invited her over to see the house, and I think she had like a brownie. She's like, I'm gonna save you a brownie or something. She's like, all right, cool. So she invited her over, and I didn't think she was gonna come, honestly. Like, and it started getting late, and I was like, she ain't about to come, and I definitely was about to eat that fucking brownie. And next thing I know, like my sister came downstairs, over the door, and let her in. I'm like, oh, okay, but it was still like my sister stayed in the room, I guess, to kind of like, well, obviously that was her company, but then to kind of keep everything, whatever. But then I had just smoked. So when I'm high, like I'm not, when I'm high, I feel like I'm low key autistic. Like I'm not looking you in the eye. Like I look at you in the eye, but I'm not going to hold eye contact with you. Like I'm kind of look off a little bit, and it, for me, like, thank God I was high because it did help me not get emotional.
Mm.
But it was like, dang girl, I miss you. Like I miss you a lot. But I told my sister after she left, I was like, is it sad that I wanted to take her upstairs and show her my room? Like on some kid shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, come look at my room. Come look and see what I did, girl. But I had to remember, like, for one, that's not my company. And for two, like, I don't know if the feelings are, I don't know if it's like a mutual thing, because it's like, I don't know if like I don't need to be friends with anybody right now. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? But I'm wondering if that's what I want, if I just want that friendship back. But at the same time, you look at it and it's like, bro, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a lot of emotional rebuild. But then at the same time, I think it's going to be um, harder for me because I don't know how to say, like, I'm about to fucking tear up again. This is some bullshit. Is this a
No,
tissue?
but I hear
My
what you're
sister knew.
saying because with you saying this, I literally found myself like looking up that friend who I paid the probation for because I found out he had a kid and everything. I was like, yo, I missed out on so much over some
Right.
I don't even remember anymore.
Right.
And it's like and it's like when you and Rob had your thing on your podcast and y'all was talking about all this stuff. I'm like, nobody knows me past the age of like 21, 22, but my parents, and that
Mm.
helps with me sometimes.
Yeah, because it's like you want to tie down, some more roots.
Yeah, and it's like all those memories. If I don't remember the moment, they're gone.
Hmm. Yeah, man. So I don't know. Like, I mean, every now and then, like, if I have a question or what's been happening since then, and it's like I can't tell if this is like maybe her way of like subtly like letting me know that she's interested in being cool again or what. But um, there's one of our boys, more so like her male best friend had a birthday, and she had posted an old picture of the three of us. And in my head, I'm like, maybe that's like a sign, because I'm almost certain I know for a fact there's pictures of just them two because I have pictures of just them two. So it's
Mhm.
just like maybe, little things like that. But then at the same time, I have to catch myself like, girl, you reading into it too much. You probably read into it too much. But like, or I'll
Universe.
send. What do you say?
What does the universe say?
I can't. I mean, here's the thing. Like, we'll have a moment in like the messages or like on Instagram message or in the DMs where we're laughing or I'll see something that because when you that close with somebody, there's certain jokes that you might have had or whatever, but you couldn't say it because we weren't talking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like certain things that I'll see that only she would understand because she was in the moment with me at that time. So we'll share moments like that, like, oh, I saw this or da da da. Remember this, and then we'll laugh, we'll have an exchange, and then that'll be it for like a couple of days until 9 out of 10 till I send something else. And I find myself having to I feel like I have to dial back because I don't want to be where I was before, where it was like I kept trying to see why can't we be friends or why don't you want to be my friend or making attempts for the friendship and being met with nothing. Like I'm not in a place right now where I could face rejection because I've been facing rejection a lot, in the last couple of years. So it's like I don't want to put myself out there just to be rejected. So part of me is like, all right, we'll wait and see if there's something, if she, shows that she's interested in this or interested in that. But the thing is, I've known this girl for a long time. We're a lot alike in the way that we think. Or in our stubbornness and in our pride. Like, I mean, it might have changed a little over the years, but at the end of the day, she's not the type to make a move without being sure if the move is going to be received well. And I'm the same way. So when you get those two type of personalities, it's like, pushing two negative parts of a magnet together.
Hence why your sister got involved.
Exactly. Because I wasn't going to do it. And it's not that I didn't want to. Like, I genuinely miss it. And that's what it was. Cause I told my sister, like, I originally, like, not saying there's anything wrong with you because I adore you. But when I first had the idea of like a podcast, I wanted to do one with her so bad because she's like, I'm not gonna say she's like the female version of Rob, but it's when we get together, it's just jokes, bro. Like when I say she's probably one of the funniest females I know,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just like that shit is just jokes, 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 and they're good jokes. Like it used to be to the point where when we be out and they see us coming, like dudes would see us come. Oh boy, here they come. Make sure your shit right. Make sure my do rag straight. All right, my hat on. No, nah, snap because they gonna make fun of my head shape. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like it was fun. So I'm like, yeah, I really wanted, that. And my sister's like, well, why don't you reach out to us? I'm like, but honestly, it wouldn't work. We wouldn't be able to have that without addressing the elephant because the conversation would always kind of dance around certain topics. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And whereas I would love that, but I just don't. I'm not in the business of putting myself out too far. I I understand that at the end of the day, I love the friends that I do have. Like I said, I keep my circle small, and I love on people more. Um, but I just can't see. I'm not in a position to deal with no type of rejection on that level. Like I don't think that I would fare very well with it because it's obviously still very triggering. Like it's obviously still something that I haven't completely gotten over with her for some reason, which is odd because the other two, like the other one I reconnected with,
Mm-hmm.
I think that because that had happened already, and we had like this whole emotional hugging and sobbing. I mean, snotting and everything. I've never cried like that with anybody, let alone like we were hugging when we cried like that. It was just disgusting. Ugh, snot everywhere. But it was like genuine, you know what I'm saying? But because we shared that moment and then you turned around and did the same thing. So it's like in that aspect for me, it was or for with that situation, it's like I'm more okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be cool with you. I can, speak to you and we can, rebuild. There's room for that, but at the end of the day, like there's always going to be a right here type thing. Like I'm gonna go up until right here because I don't really know if you're going to just up and leave again. You know what I'm saying? Without reason or without notification. Because that's another thing for me. If I'm not being a good friend to you, I'd rather you tell me before you defriend me or unfriend me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If this ain't working for you, I'd rather you say that than just ghost me. Don't just ghost me as a friend. If you just like one of my niggas or whatever, fine. I don't care. Ghost me. But if you're like my friend, don't ghost me. Because like I value those friendships so much more than most of the other relationships that, you know, that I have and that I deal with. So that was it's like it's hard for me and I don't wanna you start having trust issues. Like what's that abandonment issues? Is that it?
I think I'm at that place, so I agree with that one. Abandonment issues.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't even want new friends because y'all just gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I be feeling. So it's like, you know, I mean, but it was very good to see both. Well, yeah, I saw it. It was very good to see both of them. Miss both of them dearly. So happy to see that they're doing well, and you know they both seem very happy in life. So you know that's good. I'm happy for that. But it was just like a it was just like I don't know. 2020 has been an interesting year. Like when I say the growth that I've had, the the gains that I've had have been immeasurable. The lessons, the clarity, you know what I'm saying? Just and some shit isn't even clear yet. Some shit I'm still learning and still figuring out, but it's just the fact that I'm open to learning it and open to figuring it out. It's just like I know this was a fucked up year for a lot of people and I did lose a lot of people that I care about, but personally, the growth that I received this year has been incomparable to any other year that I've ever had. Even like my early years as a parent, you know what I'm saying? Like this growth has just been like wow. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean there's still things that I'm trying to figure out, things that I accept that I shouldn't, but I'm slowly getting to that voice where it's like yeah, nah. So, yeah. Whew. All right. I hope you got the emotion that you wanted, Amari, because you know how you do. Go
No,
on, girl. Cry.
no.
Cry. The viewers love it. The
It's not.
listeners love it.
It's not that. It's just I have a lot of friends who want to be the strong person, who want to hold shit back. So when y'all need to do it, I let y'all go.
Yeah, you know what? And I've been talking about that a lot lately too. About being a strong friend. And, you know, my thing is this, how I assess my friendships. Right now, I would say that in from my perspective, I would say that the friends that I do have, the people that I consider friends and that I communicate with regularly on a friendship basis, out of um, all of them except for one, I view as my stronger friends. There's one that I view as that, you know, I tend to have to take the role of the stronger friend in the friendship, which is where the whole dynamic of limiting what I take on
Hmm.
comes from because I feel like for me, if my circle is strong, I have a moment to be weak without falling into the weakness, without falling into the self pity. I do not believe any of my strong friends would ever allow me to just sit there and wallow in my self pity. You know, Rob is, you know, that's my A1 day one, whatever. But if I call him broken up, like I mean, there's been times when like, whew, she was really concerned. Like when it was just like a I don't know if this is I don't know if this is what I want to do type thing. You know what I mean? One of those type of moments. He pulled up, obviously pulled up with weed, because that's because that's how real friends roll. So he pulled up with weed, like you know, I sat there, I cried, I was like a little bitch for a minute, and he
Ain't
didn't
no wrong.
judge me.
Ain't no wrong.
Yeah, but it's just like when you have like a platonic male friend who is just I don't want to say he's not in touch with his feelings, but Rob has been through things in life that has made him shield himself
Mhm.
from certain things. So he doesn't allow people in to see certain feelings. Like he was going through some shit one year and I was literally the only person who knew what he was going through. And we would be with our other friends and stuff, our other homies or whatever, and they would not have no clue. And then once they leave, he would just like open up to me like, yeah, so this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? And this is like even in him confiding in me, it's still like a you could see the guard is up because he doesn't want to get too in touch with the with what he's feeling. Like, he doesn't want it to consume him type thing. And I
Mhm.
feel like with my friends, like if I come to you, like I said with Rob, I come to him, I could be crying, I could be just, all fucked up. And he'll let me get out what I gotta say, and we'll smoke, and then after that, it's like, all right, well, this is what it is, blah 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 blah. And it's just like I can vent, I can get it out, but I don't feel like I'm weak or like I'm being held in that weakness, in that temporary moment of weakness. It's like when you stumble and your friend there, they just listen, nigga, come on, get up now. Like I'm helping you up, but you being a little heavy now. Stand up, like that type of thing. So it's like, I feel like that with you included, like with my friends, like if I'm calling, if I'm upset about something or I'm sad about something or whatever, y'all respond to me in a way where it doesn't keep me in that sadness. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like just gives me that strength to pick me back up a little bit. And then because of that, I don't abuse it. I mean, Rob, he hasn't said anything, but I mean, he shows signs when I'm starting to abuse it. He'll be like, "All right, nigga," but outside of that, because of that, I try not to abuse it because that's what happened in some of my previous friendships. I was abusing, you know, that I could actually call and the strong friend is going to help me. But because I abused it on that end, that's why I don't allow other people to abuse me as the strong friend. That's why I say, all right, now you can call me on this day with this problem. If you got another problem the next day, can't help you with that because you're not about to weigh me down with your shit. Because it took me a long time to be able to stand up with my own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, that strong friend thing, I feel like it's helpful to for me to keep strong people around me. You know what I'm saying? One of my homegirls, she don't play none of that shit. That shit be like, girl, let me tell you, leave him. She was like, girl, I didn't even say what he did yet. Kick him to the curb, fuck him. Like, she, you know what I'm saying? You get some people who are really like, just the epitome of where my strength come from. But then you get some people who is just like, bro, I feel like you're gonna drain my strength in a way that I just can't deal with. Like I don't have the capacity. I always use that word capacity for your
Uh,
shit a little too heavy. Like you know what I'm saying?
that whole capacity was now like my word of 2020.
Because it's real. Like it's such a fitting word.
Is it wrong that with you saying this, I have literally been looking up my friend, have been like technically stalking them to try to find them?
No, because I still do that. That third friend that I had lost. Remember, I lost three, and that third friend that I lost, um, yeah, she she. I feel like she blocked me
Oh,
on Facebook. She blocked me on Facebook, but I think that was a mutual blocking when it happened. I think that was a mutual blocking in the moment. And then on Twitter, she didn't block me. We unfollowed each other. She didn't block me. And then I think on Instagram, I don't know if I'm blocked on Instagram or not, but I did I had posted something on Facebook one day and it was just like, not on Facebook, on Twitter, and I was like something about, just me missing her and hoping that she's doing well, if you see this, da da da. And then like I had went and looked at her page a couple months later and I had seen something that was to the likes of like losing friendships and not wanting them back or something. And I was like, I mean, I don't know if you're talking about me or not, but you look like you're healthy and happy. And I see that you kicked that nigga to the curb that was bringing you down. So I'm happy for you. I don't need to be friends with anybody. And that's another thing that I'm learning. I don't need to be friends with anybody. It's nice to have friends. I enjoy, the friends that I have, but I don't need to double back and be friends because if you feel like, and that's what I told her, I said, if you feel like I'm not being the friend that you need and it's not healthy for you, let me the fuck go. Like, don't keep nobody around you that's bringing you down, even if it's me. And that's like I can't get mad at anybody for acting on that, so it is what it is. But like I said, once I seen that she was, happy and she looked healthy, she looked good, I'm like, all right, good for you. Keep it moving. Because that's like, it's not one of those like I want to see you happy even if you're not with me type of situations, but it's like at no point did I ever wish ill on any of these people. So every now and then, of course, I'm gonna check on you. Of course, I'm gonna, look in and see what you're doing. Like the girl's still friends with my mom, my sister. Like she's still friends with all my family. I don't go checking on her through them. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm blocked here, that's because you don't want me to see this part of your life, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna go around being blocked. Like nah, I'm blocked. I don't need to see that. So you good, but again, like it ain't, sometimes you just gotta look them up online and see how they doing before you reach out, like to see if maybe their life ain't in a space for the reachings out. Maybe they shit still a little messy, and you like, I don't need to get that on my hands.
Hmm. But
Mm.
I found an address, so I may just send something for the holidays.
Oh, here you go. This nigga love to send stuff.
No, because I was like, how should I just send it to the address, or else I can go through their city clerk to see if they still live there.
Mm.
But they're not like New Jersey. New Jersey, if you do an open request, that's free. They're talking about 15 cents per page, and I'm paying research time, which is someone's hourly salary. I'm like, nah, that's too much. I'm just gonna like send it and hope for the best.
I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
You old school, you old fashioned.
I'm old fashioned.
You like to still send stuff.
I mean, who doesn't like to get some in the mail that's not a bill?
If it's not money, I don't want none of that shit. Don't send me nothing. So,
I'll take note of that for next year.
but that's how I'd be like. I don't like phone calls. If it's not a check, I don't need nothing in the mail. Like, I mean, if it's not a check or a gift, but you right though. I mean, that's just me because usually anytime somebody reach out to me, it's only because they want something. So I don't really be pressed to hear from people. That's why my phone always on silent. That's why I should usually on do not disturb. You know what I'm saying? That's why like I don't be rushing to check any messages because it's not like anybody, wants to just say what's up. Anytime people hit me up, it's because they want something, they need me to look up something for them, or they need some type of information from me, or and I'm just like, I'm good.
Is that part of being a strong friend or just the kind of people you know?
I don't. I guess it would be the people that I know because honestly, it's not my friends that do that.
Mm.
That's why I don't answer. That's why it's like I don't be feeling like answering my phone when it ring or certain messages if it's not from the like if it's not from the people that I consider friends, then I'm not in no rush to deal with it because like I said, usually it's somebody wanting something, looking for somebody, looking for some type of information, wanting to sell me something, wanting me to join one of their schemes, wanting me to sell NutriBurst or something. Like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm good. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it. But I don't like you heard my voicemail before. Like,
Your
what you
voice
calling
is
for?
just like straight up. I ain't looking for nothing. I ain't looking for no job or something like that. Don't call me. Your
Mm-mm.
voice was like, don't leave a fucking message. You should have hanged up and you didn't pick up. I didn't pick up the
And you know what? I have to update it because I need to say if you don't leave a message or send a text message, I'm going to block you.
damn.
Because like you get people like who will call me, these numbers will call me, and they won't leave no message. And then they don't send no text message. So if you didn't leave a message and you didn't send a text message, then you don't want me to know that you called. And if you don't want me to know that you called, then you don't need to call me back. That's how I look at it. Mm-mm. Don't play that. Nope. Don't waste my time. I think my aunt called. I wish that I could like send you the voicemail so you can put it in there. But she was like, oh, huh, oh. Well, I hope that I'm not disturbing your peace. Like, keep it all the way 100. I've had professional people like doctor's office or something. They call it like, oh my God, I love your voicemail. Like, yeah, you're right, Amari. Just like you said, I'm not looking for no job. I'm not looking for nothing from nobody. Like then I'm setting my boundaries right there on my voicemail. That's it. If you calling to disturb my peace, like I'm letting you know, hey, I am screening your call. I watched the phone ring. I did. And I want you to leave a message and let me know what you want. And then I'll decide if it's worth me calling you back. Boundaries, bitch.
I don't know, but I remember when I got that the first time. I'm like, who the fuck am I becoming friends with?
Listen, because there's only a few places where you can control the peace. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can always control your inner peace, but like the shit that comes at you, people think that, oh, I have your phone number or whatever, that like that access, like they're entitled to that access, and then that access gives them, space or entitlement into your peace. No. If you're calling me on some bullshit that I don't want to talk about, I want you to understand that you don't need to be calling me. Like if you calling me on some bullshit, you get my voicemail and you don't leave a message to tell me what you want, then you don't want nothing. Or you was calling to disturb my peace and you picked up on a message. If you calling to disturb my peace, then leave me alone. Yeah, okay, cool. She want to be left alone. Let's not call her back. Cool. Bye. Mm-mm. And you're right. I'm not looking for no job. I have my Google Voice number for like if I have need to give it to a client or something like that. But my personal number, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You ain't about to just be running amok on my shit.
Ooh, I found a good card.
Here you go.
What?
Mm. But yeah, so that's my take on like friendships and boundaries and shit.
I don't know. I'm just. It's just
2020 was a interesting year.
2020 was transformative, but also
Oh my gosh, so transformative.
got to see you get on the stage.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it was just so this year, just it was so much, so many lessons, so many different ways to like. It's just so much, man, so much. It was a lot, but it was a. I don't want to say it was a good year because of the things that people did lose, but it was a very educational year. The knowledge gains was, oof. Mm.